Let me tell you about the dangers of spinal decompression. And I know what I'm saying can sound a little controversial because, believe it or not, spinal decompression is still being done as a form of rehab on people with disc herniation spine issues. And it's most definitely also being done kind of at home, people buying those teeter-totters and doing their own home version of spine decompression. Why is it dangerous? So believe it or not, spine decompression puts you at higher risk of multi-level disc herniation. Doesn't sound good, it isn't good. So let's talk about those discs, those vertebral discs, okay, right? Those cushiony thingies, right, between our vertebrae. So our vertebral disc is kind of designed like a donut, where it's got this envelope, right, this on the outside, it's got the nucleus. And if you've ever heard of a disc herniation, is when the inside of that donut filling herniates out. There's a break in that, right, the protective layer on the outside, and that stuff just literally extrudes itself out. So I'm gonna just ask you, right, picture it. If you've got a jelly donut that is like filled to the maximum, okay? How easy is it to apply a bit of pressure and squish that filling out of the donut? Versus if the donut is not completely full, you're probably gonna have to apply a little bit more pressure on it in order to cause that to fly out. So believe it or not, decompressing your disc, and I'll explain how, makes that poor little vertebral disc plump up like that jelly donut and literally put you at higher risk of herniating, okay? This is why a giant majority of disc herniations occur first thing in the morning. When your spine, when you're sitting and standing, gravity is pushing on you this way, right? Or pulling this way, okay? And what happens is you are slowly, believe it or not, throughout the day shrinking. You're at your tallest in the morning. This is normal, okay? Happens with gravity. When I lie down to sleep at night, this is why sleeping horizontal and not in those elevated bed is so important. We want to sleep horizontal. My spine is not loaded. There's no vectors downward into it. It's unloaded through gravity this way. And what happens when I sleep is my discs are hydrophilic. They love moisture. And they go, and they suck the moisture back up and they plump up like those little jelly donuts. Okay, so you're at your tallest in the morning. Sometimes you'll find you have to adjust your car mirror up in the morning. And guess what? When you drive back home, you have to adjust it back down, but this is normal. So if that's a natural process, right, just horizontal, and you're at highest risk of disc herniation, can you imagine taking traction, weights? This is done to people. It's kind of like a medieval rack, okay? And pulling on the spine. Can you imagine what those discs are like? Woohoo, okay. They have no choice. They have to do this. Or inverting and creating that. Can you imagine how much the risk exponentiates essentially? So please, if you don't believe me, humor me, stop spine decompression for 2 weeks and see if your back feels better. And if it does, don't listen to me, listen to your back.